She started acting up, and I said, well, if you want, you can leave. I asked her to leave. So she took some time, and she was back and forth, and then she took all her stuff, and I said, okay. I never ran behind her. I never told her, come back. I'm going to take. The energy was, I was turned off of the energy.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
A week.
A week?
Because what happened, one time she was like, why are you standing? One time I was laying on the bed, and she came in the room, and she's like, why are you standing on the ceiling? I said, I'm just purging your energy. I told her that. I said, I'm just purging your energy out.
Oh.
So it just takes me a little time to meditate. And then once I cut that, you see, I deal with pure energy. Once you is a hindrance to my soul, I don't hate you, I don't dislike you, but I realize you're useless to my travels.
Let it go.
I let it go. Yeah.
So I assume you weren't born with this mindset, right?
No,
You had to learn it.
No, I was.
You were? So since
My dad isn't into. What happens that if you understand, I was born in a deep spiritual value because my dad was deep into astrology, and if he tell you something, he means it. My dad never died; he left. He told me when he was going to leave. He told me a year before. So he was deep into the spiritual, and I have like it was 9 kids. Everybody grown now. My last brother, he's like 50 something now. So everybody's like grown. But I was the only one born with a high spiritual value, and he kind of guided me into it more or less. So anything he was talking about, he's always telling me I will catch it up more because my in astrology there's called things like cardinal planets, right? In the astrology, and if you're born in a cardinal planet, you sort of like born with a good, noble mind. I was born in a double cardinal planet. So if you go to a good person of high echelon in astrology, and I told him you're born, they see you're born in a double cardinal planet, to know you came back from sort of like some high echelon of spirituality and stuff. So I was always living that kind of spiritual life. I never let anything bother me. And
So would you like ask time of birth for your date, your partner, and like would you do birth charts and stuff?
I don't do that because when you reach a certain level in life, you understand people. You could be with anybody. You're supposed to be with anybody. But it's a matter of understanding who you are. So what the basics of the horoscope is just a default when you don't understand the concept of your spirituality. But once you fall in a certain category to say you're this, you're emotional. But if you understand that level of spirituality, you could be out of that. But if you don't, you fall in the default of it.
Basically.
You understand what I'm saying? Like my horoscope, I born as a Cancer. Cancer emotional and sensitive. I'm not, because I understand what it is all about. So I more deal with the energy of my soul rather than the default of, oh, well, I'm sensitive. It's coming. So if you understand what it is, you can get out of it, sort of. Because you could be in a family where the whole family, everybody drinking, mom drinking, aunt drinking, everybody's alcoholic, but then you could come out on top and be a scholar. So you don't have to be the default of in this kind of way, not because you see.
Like seeing the pattern and then,
Yeah. So
rising above it.
I know I was sensitive. So what I do with that when I was younger, I just take things in and try to figure, look, listen, this is what the universe gives to me. This is what it puts in front of my face. I got to face it.
So did you seek out a certain type of partner? Were you always attracted to a certain type of partner?
I kind of, well, I'll tell you something. Before I came to Miami, I was with a girl I hang with, and she was saying to me, you know, a lot of things about you, man, is that you, well, that time I was still working, you got a good job, you're doing well, you live in a nice place, blah, 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 is the case. And she was like, you guys are kind of arrogant because the minute a woman goes left on you guys ready to walk away. And I sat and talked about it, and that was kind of me a little bit, sort of like, you're doing well, and you take no BS, actually, but it's a sense of arrogance, too. So when I came down to Miami and I met my girlfriend, Mind me, we went together for 5 years. Good. And she was the only person I was with. So when I met her and she told me about her stories and she had some potential for business, and I was like, you're young, but I like it. I said, I'll work with you. I'll take you there. And I remember the first time we moved into a place, she kind of went off on me. And I was like, I didn't say anything.
In which way?
I was telling her how the place was, and I was kind of explaining some things. I said, well, it's okay, but blah, blah, blah. And then she just went off. She just got mad and went off. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. So the next day, I kind of we went out of business. We went to work. She come home. We went to eat, come home. And I was like, can you give me a list of things that bothers you and eat in your heart away that you want to fulfill? She turned and she's like, why you ask me that? I said, because that performance you did yesterday, that wasn't for me. That's something that bothered you inside. It has nothing to do with me because I did nothing to you. And she started crying.
Oh.
She cried for a little bit, and then she's like, yes, I have a list. So she write a list of things she want to accomplish and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I said, but next time we can talk about it, so don't try to make noise to me because I could see right through you. And a year after, I wrote up the list, and I showed it to her. She said, yeah, everything is good. And then we start the business.
This was the previous girl.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
purse, the Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, to leave it
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. So we start the business, and I was pushing everything 100%, and we did what we had to do, and we got it to a certain level, and we was doing well. We had 11 employees at one time, so we was doing good. But I think just her, when her friends start coming out of the woodwork and she had to prove to them she living the life, it's like, come on, it's like killing you, this kind of way. We went looking for houses and more kind of stuff already, and I was like, listen, I said, I don't go look for stuff until you have everything there. She said, well, let's check. But I'm not into that.
So do you consider her like a significant relationship in your life?
It was because we lived together for 5 years. Yeah. And as always, she said, she's always write me, not now, but before, last, she said, I will always miss you, the best person I ever come around. But I think she has to please her peers. So I'm okay with that. And
She's a people pleaser.
well, her peers is to me, it's like losers. Everybody just want to look pretty and trying to pick up somebody, and it's doesn't make sense. And they used to envy her. They used to tell her straight, I wish I was in your position. I could find somebody like Curtis. I could find somebody because I'm 100% for you. That's all I see my dad do to my wife, my mom. So I carry on the same kind of way, So you're with a woman, you treat her like a queen, you make her feel like a queen. Then you becomes the king.
So after that experience, right, dealing with a people pleaser that surrounds herself with who you consider losers, is that a red flag that you look for, the environment that she surrounds herself with?
Well, now I think when I met her, she was kind of pretty calm, and we built together. But now, I kind of, if I used to meet someone, I look at your motive. If I think your motive is a little too external, I wouldn't waste my time. If I think your motive is about a peace of mind, that means you want to enlighten yourself with some intelligence of different things. And if riches comes with it, it comes with it. But if you're looking for the riches, then I think it's not me.
More building together versus.
Yeah, and we could have gone far, I'm telling you the truth. But the thing is, I have no regrets because right now, I feel so free.
Peace of mind.
Oh my God.
Peace of mind.
Because I think 2 weeks ago, we had a client, but I know she wanted to tell me that because I never used to pay her no mind. She couldn't call me. I wouldn't answer. I would not answer. If it's not business, text me. So if it's business, text me. So she will call my phone now. I wouldn't answer.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be bothered. If we not have anything and we're just doing the business, because at one time we didn't have much client. So you don't really need to be communicating with me. I just give you up already. So she texted me 3 weeks ago because we had a client getting some problems. She said, the thing about you, I learned, is that when you cut people off, nothing bothers you. Nothing matters. And I did tell her that when we met. I said, I'm a type of person, I don't make noise, But if I give you that silence, because I have enough of you. So right now she has that silence. I don't care what she does, where she goes. That's my business. I never ask her.
Does it take a lot for you to cut somebody off?
No. It's all energy. Because all these things are just earthly things.
Yeah.
And we fuss over it because it's a status quo of the past, and we are slave to traditions. We know our grandparents fuss, so our great-grandparents fuss, so we fussing. But it's nothing. It means nothing. It's just energy. You know? So if you look at life as a more of a spiritual sense, you realize all this physical and earthly stuff doesn't really mean anything. Because today or tomorrow you go, guess what? You're not here. So you have to kind of take control of yourself while you're here, live the good life, share the love. The universe is always watching.